Hi again, my beautiful, 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 beautiful ladies, and my handsome, 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 handsome men. Big up to all the men out there. The good men, the not so good men, you can get up to the good stage. The better men, you can move from the good to the better, and the better you can be, you can move to the good to the stage of best. All right, so no matter what category you are at, there is always room for growth, there is always room for development. All right, so big up to everyone. Now, I have, mindsets are important. What you see happening in the world today is because of mindsets, different mindsets. Whether your mindsets are progressive, whether your mindsets are good, whether your mindsets are evil, whether they're wicked, whether they're neutral, wherever your mindsets are, that is what is going to be depicted throughout your entire life, whatever mindsets you decide to hold on to. And one that I've decided to take on, a particular mantra that I've decided to take on nowadays, and I think this is because I realized something. When we go to funerals, I realize that people tend to scatter roses. Now, how can the dead body hear all of what you're saying? You now look into all of what the person would have done that was good. And I realize that we have enveloped and we have even developed a particular culture of scattering roses when people are gone. It will mean nothing to them because they can't hear you. There's nothing they're hearing. And even if they're at heaven's pearly gate or whatever it is, wherever God has them at the time after death, they're not going to hear you. Or even if they're hearing you, let us say hypothetically that they probably hear. Maybe they are, I don't know. Not going to help them. They can't even come back and say thank you right now. They won't be able to come back and say thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. And the question they may ask is, why did you tell me that from before, so that I can know how I was operating with you? I never forgot my former co-worker who died in 2018? He died October? Yeah. Young guy, never got an opportunity to live in the house that he bought one night. Never, not one night. We didn't even know he was ailing. Anyhow, and I said to somebody, as a co-worker, we had our tussle, we had our tussle, verbal tussle. And but we had good arguments. And when people hear the word good arguments, they don't know what argument is. Having good conversation. Argument doesn't mean something negative only. It also means good. Check the origin of the word argument. So we had good arguments, and our conversations, they were either something Bible related or just general life or health, diet, music, because he knows that I love music a lot. And what I remember with him, he knew a lot of oldies. You would think this is like an old man in this fairly young man's body. He was 40 something, early 40s when he died. And he knew a lot of music. He knew the names of the musicians. I may never know the name of them. I'm never one good with names. I need to work on that. And he knew a lot of songs. He was good with that. So we could have healthy conversations. Bright fella, had his quirky ways. We all have our little idiosyncrasies, That's why we need to be patient with each other. Check your own selves. We all have our little things that are pet peeves to us, or things that we hold dearly to and cherish. And I think we need to respect people with that. There are things that I hold dearly to, and things that I pet peeves that I have. We don't want people kind of respect that. And if God ready to mellow me on that era, then allow him to. Everything can't come in one night or one day. So we have to be patient with each other. We have to try that, people, please. And respect other people's idiosyncrasies that are not deadly to you. Just respect it. If you know somebody doesn't like when you say certain words to them, or if you pass and you hit them on it, just respect that. It doesn't mean they're uptight. Just leave them alone, even if they are. Just because you have some things that you don't like. You see how we are as human beings? That's why I say we're selfish innately. We only look at others, but we don't turn the floodlights this way. And so when he died, I said to somebody, one of the most amazing things happened. I could not remember. Not that it's not the body couldn't literally remember, but for the moment, the season, the early death, that season that I was in with him, where he was concerned, I could not remember anything but, and the brain brought up, or the mind brought up every conversation, most of the good conversations we had, most of the good encounters that we had, it brought up every one of them to my mind. I could not believe it. Things that I would have never thought that the mind was keeping an account of. I was shocked. I was shocked out of my wits. I'm like, oh my God, because that was one of the first close deaths that I've had. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious me, what a thing. I could barely remember the negative encounters. Some of them that I remembered, I said, boy God, he had these issues. And I just laughed them off, some of them. I said, oh my God, what a life. He just had his issues and needed help. And, I'm just saying to you that even when I just try to bring my mind on the negative, or if it could come to my mind, it didn't even bother me. They did not even bother me. But it was just remarkable that I remembered every good thing. And that is why you have to be careful of what you do to people, because the brain is actually keeping a record of it. And I'm saying, oh my goodness, I remembered all the good conversations and encounters, because he had good ways. We had good conversations. And I'm like, I said from then on, not from then on, but maybe before I was starting that I'm going to scatter roses while people are alive. I'm not going to give in to envy and jealousy and pride and, that I'm not going to speak highly of others because nobody may not have spoken highly of me. No, I'm not going to give in to that. Because too much and too long have we lived that way. I find that we don't help. If we know somebody and they are doing a business, we don't support them, because it's almost like it burns you to know that they're going to do well and maybe you are not doing well. Or it burns you to know that they're going to become popular and famous and wealthy out of it, and you're not popular and famous right now. And that's a horrible mindset to have. That's a horrible way to live. That's not godly. It's not right. There's no humanity behind that. That's terrible. And I decide, no, I'm going to go against the pricks. Even if I feel pangs of envy or jealousy want to creep up on me, I am not giving in to them. I'm going to do good as much as I can, even when the wrong is happening, even when the bad is happening. And I'm saying all of this to say this. Now, there is a lady that I have admired over a few years now. Where I'm working is over 4 years, 4 years and a few months. And I decide that I'm going to speak highly of her because I realize that leadership creates behavior change, whether for the good or for the bad. It creates transformation, whether for the good or for the bad. That's what leadership does. And there is this police officer that is called Inspector Watt, Suzette Watt. Let me tell you, people, may God bless her bountifully. May he bless her in every way, with his richest, with his wisest, with his finest, with his choicest, and with his best, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, educationally, in every way in her life, in her leadership skills, in how she just emits everything that she does. I pray that God's choicest will be and best will be upon Inspector Suzette Watt. She was at the Sligovilles police station for a few years, and now she is at the Spanish Downs station. And her work there at Sligoville, all the years that she has been there, was impeccable. Her staff had respect for her. Their disposition was respectful, and you could feel that mantra that they portray, that the JCF's mission is about: reassure, to protect, to reassure, and the other word not coming to me right now, but you can look up their mantra, and when I had to go to do an inspection at Spanish Town Station, I was a bit worried, because I said, oh my God, I wonder if she would be able to carry over the same leadership style and skills and good management skills over to where she's at now, because it's a different ball game, different ground, different people. And when I went there, my goodness gracious, nothing short of excellence. In fact, her staff spoke highly of her. So a sergeant and some of the other constables spoke highly of her. and said it's because of her, and she did her due diligence. She did her word them say, and she rough on us, but in a good way. She was, she's stern and all of that, but because she wants them to do well. And I said, oh my God, what a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessed woman, what a blessed woman, Inspector Suzette, what? Because sometimes how we grow up as Jamaicans, we grow up into a culture of hearing negative things about police. All police officers are negative and bad, and you hear all of this. That's not true. That cannot be true. Because if most of them were bad, Jamaica would be in serious problems. We would be in serious problems. That is not true. The few that are bad, it's just magnified. It's like if you have 2 rotten eggs and about 20 good eggs. If you drop the one that might spoil the rest, in a sense, the smell of it, maybe. Or if you put the 2 rotten eggs beside the other egg, this 20 eggs, it just may seem like everybody is bad, but that's not the case. That is not the case. The lady did exceptionally well at Sligo. She has left a good legacy, because who has taken over, I'm told, is doing a good job. And she came to Spanish Town, and she's even doing a greater job. Lord, I pray them promote her. I pray they promote her. I wouldn't mind if that lady will become a commissioner one day, and them hold her from she gets a good 5-year contract as being a commissioner, and just doing exceptionally well. It's not impossible, I'm sure all the commissioners who became commissioners never even knew that would have ever happened for them. I pray that she will even become the commissioner. I don't even want to say just go up to, I think it will be DSP first, and then maybe SP, and then ACP, or whatever it is. What a wonderful woman. And it's just her leadership. Anytime you see an organization, anytime you see a company, anytime you see a group, anytime you see a team doing well, it is about leadership. And yes, you have to have the right people in it. But even if you have a one person, but you see, once you have good leadership and a good support system, you can conquer the world. You can transform from bad to good to better to best. Leadership. But you have to treat, and I know she treated her staff well. You could see that is why they showed respect for her genuinely. And they honored her genuinely because of her attitude, because of how she felt about them, because of how she treated them. When we wanted to do a little debriefing with her, she wanted them to hear. She called them in. She never just listened for herself. If you're a selfish leader, you won't get good results. It is impossible. So even if you are beating sick and you produce maybe something that is surface and seemingly good, after a while it will crumble. And the interpersonal relationships and the interpersonal skills, they will not work. Excellent leader, Inspector Suzette Watt. May God bless her. I salute her. I'm not sure if she will ever hear this or get this message. I'm not even sure if she's on Facebook. But I pray that God will bless her and her family greatly. Bless her and her family richly. I am in awe of her and her leadership style. I mean, I'm not there to watch her, but for the mere fact she has been at a particular station for years and emitted such greatness and leadership skills and love for her staff, genuinely love them. Even the one that may needed a little brushing up and all of that and help, and got them all. Even when you looked at their attire, their disposition, it was professional. And then she went to Spanish Town and did the very same. Oh my goodness. She deserves the praise. And when we say praise, when the Bible says a woman who fears the Lord ought to be praised, it's not in terms of praise when you praise in God, meaning you speak highly of them. You give them what's due to them. And I've just prayed that God will bless her bountifully. He will take her to higher heights, deeper depths, and she will just be blessed, favored, and that her work will live on. It will live on. May God bless her richly with his finest in every area of her life. One love to you, Inspector Suzette Watt, and stay blessed. Have a great day, everyone.